Everyone, I have a very serious warning, and I cannot be more sincere about this. Donald Trump has a plan to start a 50-year mortgage, and 3 years ago, I made a warning video about this exact scenario. The video was entitled, "If the government does this, it will cause houses to spike 30%. I'm going to play a clip from that. I'm going to read a story, and he is going to cause a crash and a spike at the same time in real estate. And if you are not ready, you are going to be in very serious trouble. Real quick, before I start, there is a crazy sale. I don't think it's a pre-Black Friday sale on the tax lien, tax deed bundle for $299. It is the cheapest course and the best tax lien and tax deed course in the country. I'm not going to be putting that out, I don't think, for Black Friday. Links down below for that. We could talk about that later, how you make stupid money doing that. So first off, this is out of Newsweek. Donald Trump proposing a 50-year mortgage sparks backlash. It says his proposal to introduce 50-year mortgage terms for home buyers has sparked backlash from online commentators. The Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte said on Saturday that the Trump administration is working on a plan to introduce this measure, and it got all kinds of backlash. Now, I'm going to play the clip from the video, the warning video I did a long time ago, and let's do this real quick. I got to cue it up live, and we're going to play it for you. And there's a very special time point at the end of the video where I explain this. So let me bring it up. It starts at about 11:15. Here we go.
The industry exploding and home prices going up another 20% or 30% from here. And yes, I did say that. And this is very scary to me. But if it happens, it's almost going to be like you have no choice. You have to do it. Mortgages were not always 30 years.
Type 1 if you guys can hear this.
Before the 30-year fixed loan program, there were 20-year fixed loan programs. There were 15 7s, 5s. There was, my point being is that every time throughout history, a loan program was extended and it was government backed, and it gave you the same protections and or lowest interest rates available, because the government saying, okay, we now deem you, you're good to go. 30-year mortgage plan, every time it jumped up from a 20 to a 25 or a 30, you saw over the next subsequent couple years rapid home appreciation. And the reason why is because the mortgage payments fell, because interest would be lower, and or let's say it stayed the same, but it was amortized over a longer period of time. I believe that we are in a...
All right, everyone, I'm going to dive into this right now because this is very serious. Because I've been calling for a housing crash. We already have one. I saw a house drop 30% in one day. It still isn't selling. I just saw a house drop yesterday 50%. Nobody's calling up the real estate agents. People aren't buying homes that are expensive. People are still buying the cheapest homes because they're getting in with these little gimmicks from the mortgage companies, like these teaser rates for a year or two, and then they're going to spike up, right? Federal Reserve is not lowering rates like Wall Street wants them to lower, because we don't have an obvious crash, because we don't have enough unemployment for the Fed, to justify dropping rates. So this is what's going to happen. See, look, a mortgage is made up of, the payment is made up of 4 aspects: your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. Taxes and insurance are sky high right now. Same with the interest portion, right? So Donald Trump wants to lower it by extending it out for 50 years. First off, I want to explain something extremely important. Type yes or no if you understand this. A 40 and 50-year mortgage product will carry a much higher interest rate than a 30-year mortgage. Type yes or no if you understand that. And be honest. And the reason why is because people aren't going to understand this, that they're going to pay so much more over the life of the mortgage, but the payment's going to be lower. Okay. And humans only care about the payment because they want to push their limits so far that they look rich without actually being rich. Okay. But here, for all of you that have been living below your means, like I had for so many years, for decades, and saving money to be wealthy, right? And have a supply a good life for your family. What's going to happen is if this happens, you're going to have to dive into the mortgage market, because it's going to take about 6 months for the plebs, the morons out there, to figure out that this product even exists. Even if it's all over the news, they're not going to understand and they're not going to run out. So you're going to have a little bit of time, but you're going to have to plan and go, look, I need to start buying up rentals. I need to start buying up because you've now fixed your rate on that rental property for the next 40 years, right? So you can cash flow a lot easier because this is going to, as plebs race into the cheapest homes and buy them up using the 50-year mortgage product, they're going to start bidding up the price of these homes because their payment's going to be lower. So they'll offer a higher price. And trust me, the home builders are foaming at the mouth for this to happen, all right? This is actually going to cause you to rush in. And if you do not do it, you will never be able to afford a house. I'm not joking, because after about 6 months, when everybody figures it out and they start rushing in, they start refinancing with 50-year mortgage products. They start buying new homes and used homes with 50-year mortgage products. The prices are going to start to skyrocket, and it is going to be just like what happened in the 70s when we went from a 10 and 15-year mortgage product to a 30-year. Okay, those house prices never, ever, ever, ever retraced beyond when that time point happened, when that change, that mortgage product change happened. And look, first off, I want to tell you, I'm a staunch proponent of paying off your personal home, owning it cash, having it in a trust and an LLC at the same time. Like, I do things crazy, right? But my point, because I want legal liability protection, and I want tax protection for my family, for my heirs, right? But then on the outside of that, I'm starting LLCs, and I'm going to buy so many of them using banks' money, other people's money, to own rentals for cash flow and for the appreciation. You will have to dive into this. If you miss this window, it's going to be straight chaos. And if you think you've been priced out of the market now, you have no idea what's coming. So let me explain a couple things you can do right now. First off, build that credit score. Build that credit score. Go get into the 800s. They will be begging you to take mortgages. They'll even give you they'll probably pay you a point because they want to salt good credit scores on top of these tranches of I call them mortgage-backed securities. They're credit default swaps now. They're changing names all the time because they're all crappy loan products. But they want that, okay? So they'll pay for 800 plus credit scores. Number two, make money, okay? The tax lien and tax deed, if you start doing that and would literally start with $300, and if you want, buy the course, you could get all the information for free on the internet. But if you don't know what you're searching for, you're just gonna waste your time. So I built the best course in the industry, and I'm selling it today for $300 for 2 courses put together. You could literally start with $300, buy your first tax lien online, register for the auctions. I'll teach you how to find the auctions, all that stuff. You will make between 12 and 36% on your money each year until the people pay you. And then you start many of them, you start making money. I know somebody that started with $350, in 2015. He's now making over $300,000 a year just registering and winning these tax liens online. And all you're doing is letting the people extend their stay without getting kicked out of their home. And then they're just paying the county, what they owe plus the fine, and that just goes back to you. But it's the most incredible way to make money in real estate, and barely anyone knows how to do it. So you fix your credit score, you go make money, and when this change happens, and I believe this change is coming in 2026, you start buying homes. And I'm going to show people the homes I'm buying, the duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, staying inside of that residential loan product that goes to 50 years, showing people how to do DSCRs, because eventually DSCR, debt service coverage ratio loans, will go into 50 years. Meaning, now think about this, you'll be able to just start an LLC, and the LLC takes out the mortgage for 50 years. Not you. These are the things that people don't teach anyone. And, it's real sexy to sell a book. You use a bunch of debt and buy real estate. That's what I did. And he doesn't tell you he doesn't own anything. It's all fake. That's not how you do it. You own everything in life inside of your personal life, your home, your cars, all that stuff. You got your stuff. And then you've got outside LLCs that are bringing all this cash flow, and then they flow into your personal bank accounts, and you can go spend that on all the vacations and dinners and, helping people and doing all these things that you always wanted to do. But you do it to where if everything implodes, you don't crash. It's very important. Those gurus online aren't telling you all this stuff because that's not sexy and it doesn't sell books. All right, hopefully you got something out of this. Pre-Black Friday sale on the bundle for tax lien and the tax deed course is down below. I have hundreds of students making great money right now because they took action and they're crushing it. And hopefully in 2026, you will too. I cannot guarantee that this is going to be the price for Black Friday because that is the stupidest price ever. Economic Ninja is out. Let's do this, everyone.